So, how about politics? Well, let's have a look at the Sibley chart. So, here, this is the USA chart. So, it's lined up for the Sibley USA chart houses. So, rising sign Sagittarius. So, here, I think you'll like what I see. This north node that we're moving towards is in the fourth house, the people's house. That's the house of the moon. It's also the most tender inside heart of the nation. So, what we're moving towards is a future of the people. And what we're leaving behind, the south node, is up here in the 10th house. By leadership, AMF. And the sun, with this hostage situation down here, feeling weak and wanting to cling to the past? Well, they're in the USA chart's second house of values and money. So if we put that together with everything we discussed before, the nation's values and what's important to us is what is clinging to the past and not wanting to change. Could it be more on the nosy? It's an excellent time for people to reassess their values and make sure that their political representatives are giving us what we want, right? It's a great time for people who have their eyes open, as all these planets here are going to roll right past the USA's natal Pluto. See how we're obsessed, Pluto, with money, second house in this country? What if we transform that obsession with the value that everybody gets the basics? What if we align our drive, our Mars, our actions, the sun, our values and love, Venus, and finally, the way we think about things, Mercury? All of these things, what if we used all those tools to make sure everyone has enough? Then all those planets are going to go right past transiting Pluto, which is going to be hanging out right here for a while. And Pluto wants to purge all of this crap. And like that little train of planets are coming by Pluto to have their contents flushed out. They're all getting an enema. They're opposing the USA's natal sun and Mercury right up here. And they're going to square Saturn and Chiron. Oof. Then we've got the other side of the equation, the North Node and the Moon. And check it out. The Moon is directly on top of the USA's natal sun, only off by 17 minutes, like half a degree. So the people are seeing the heads of state. We are right on top of them. And perhaps we're going to start looking more closely at the original intention of this country. The transiting sun and moon square the USA's Saturn in Libra, pointing to this make or break time we're living in. Saturn doesn't mind working hard, but what he wants in the end is freedom. And freedom is hard to achieve if we're trying to keep things fair. Libra. For people who have already got more than their fair share, like I feel the people have so much compassion for people that they think are their betters in this country. I don't understand it, but they've already got plenty, and even still, it's being argued that they need more, and that is really not fair. But I digress. Something's going to break. Transiting Jupiter is on top of the USA's retrograde Mercury, so we get big talk about beliefs. And interesting that we call this house the eighth house here. The eighth house here? The house of other people's money. So, will the people finally see how our money is being siphoned off and given to the other people? Will the people see other people's money and finally realize that it's not fair? We've got this myth in this country that money follows morality. It's crazy. It's really this idea that the wealthy got where they are because they deserve it and not because they were lucky or had all kinds of support, didn't have all these people that they're not paying any money to. That the wealthy didn't make it where they are on the backs of other people. It's just crazy. And they didn't share their success with the people who made it possible, all the people working for them. If your business model relies on paying people less than the minimum wage, it's not a business model. It's a plantation. So, yeah, the most immoral people on the planet are the ones with so much money that they're blind to the actual rest of the world that the rest of us live in. But I digress. So, I think that's pretty good news. Now, let's look at Donald Trump's chart. All right, so here's Donald Trump's chart, and I forgot to turn back on the midheaven and stuff when we were looking at Sibley, but I think we're going to live. All right, so we have got Saturn transiting Saturn and Neptune in conjunct to his ascendant and Mars. Ouch. I mean, it's no wonder that he is freaking out right now. His conscience is trying to contact him about his heart's extended warranty, and he is not picking up the phone. So he's feeling deep inner criticism with this, and I can only guess that he's blaming everyone around him but himself, everyone but himself. And that Neptune is also in conjunct his ascendant. He doesn't want to see it. He does not, he wants to do drugs about it. I bet he's freaking out, confused, and oh, hey, this is what's showing up as what we're reading as dementia, and it really might be dementia. But even if he didn't have dementia, this is what would be going down. Transiting Mars is just about exactly squaring his Chiron. Ouch. And then he's got transiting Chiron, sextile his sun. Again, like minutes off of exactitude. Double, double ouch. Chiron is about healing the wound or being in pain that leads us to the healing. So, with a double whammy like this, his heart is really hurting. And for people like him, this usually comes out as their favorite emotion. The only emotion they're allowed to have, anger. So all of his pain points are being dragged out into the daylight and kicked down the street. And I love this for him. He's got Mars sesquiquadrate his ascendant. Yes. So the environment is driven to block him. And for other people, this would give us the cue to regroup and rethink. But we know how that goes with this guy. Venus is sesquiquadrate his Mars. I love that for him. It demands conformity to the society. This is like a car crash of will. And, it's really putting a fine point on everything we've heard regarding the Epstein files. Venus is driving the dump truck of justice right to his Mars, 28 minutes off exactitude. Yes. He's got Jupiter in conjunct his moon and the south node. He's just exploding with this wanting to be seen and nurtured as he has been in the past. And when I say that, I don't mean just back in the 80s and 90s, but all the way back to what he really is still longing for, his mother, who was hospitalized when he was quite young for a long time. And he is still getting even with women about it. And Lord, that really helps one understand what his deal is. Anyway, This is another one of those get along to go along aspects. So you're going to be blocked if what you want goes against the greater good. And I don't have it on here, but there is an asteroid called Zeus that is it's about sex life and desires, power dynamics and sexual relationships, infidelity, desire for control. That is sextile to his Mars and squaring his Venus and Saturn in the 12th house. And I'm taking that as the chickens are coming home to roost. His drives are on full display. His treatment of women with his natal Venus in the 12th, hidden women, the hidden feminine loving side of himself that he just cannot live with, that he hates so much. Why else would you treat young girls like that if you didn't hate the feminine inside of yourself? I could go on, but I think you get the drift. So things look really good on the political front, not for Donald, but as I've been saying all along, and we might have to go through a lot of garbage and pain evidenced by that Chiron to get there, but everything's going to look different in the spring. Everything is going to be different in the spring. And now we are looking at how are we going to make the things different. I love that the moon, the people, and Jupiter, justice, are hanging out in his 12th house. This feels like the people are bringing justice to his hidden places, exposing his real thoughts, and Mercury, his real attitude towards women. It's just delicious. All right. Well, that's it for the full moon. I hope that, you reach out if you need help figuring out what you're here to do. It's a great time to do that work, to figure that out and map yourself a plan. So hit me up, michellecraft.love. Schedule your appointment to suit your needs. There's no back and forth with the email. And I will see you soon. I've got open appointments in January, so no excuses. Until next time, I love you, but the universe loves you more. Bye.